Welcome to Speak Forward English, where we help you master the language with confidence.
Hey, Jerry, how's it going?
Oh, hey, Sophia. I'm doing pretty good, thanks. How about you?
I'm great, thanks for asking. I wanted to chat with you today about something that comes up all the time in English conversations.
Yeah? What's that?
Weekend plans. It's one of those topics that everyone talks about, especially on Fridays or Mondays at work, with friends, pretty much everywhere.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, what are you doing this weekend is probably one of the most common questions in English, right?
Exactly. So today we're going to break down how to talk about weekend plans naturally, like native speakers do. And we'll give you lots of examples so you can start using these phrases right away.
Perfect. And hey, if you're enjoying this conversation and want to improve your English listening skills, don't forget to subscribe for daily English listening practice. We post new content every day.
Yes, please do subscribe. All right, so Jerry, let's start with the basics. How do you usually ask someone about their weekend plans?
Well, the most common way is just, what are you doing this weekend? It's simple, direct, and everyone uses it.
Right, and you can also say, do you have any plans for the weekend? That's another really popular one.
Mm-hmm. Or sometimes people make it even more casual, like, got any plans this weekend? Dropping the do you have at the beginning.
Yes, that's super common in casual conversation. It sounds more relaxed and friendly.
Exactly. And if you want to be more specific about which weekend you're talking about, you could say, what are you up to this coming weekend? Or what are your plans for next weekend?
Good point. Now, what about when someone asks you and you actually do have plans? How do you respond?
Okay, so let's say I'm planning to go hiking. I could say, I'm going hiking on Saturday, or I'm planning to go hiking this weekend.
Perfect example. And notice how Jerry used I'm going and I'm planning to. These are really natural ways to talk about future plans in English.
Yeah, and you could also say, I'm thinking about going hiking if you're not 100% sure yet.
Ooh, that's a good distinction. I'm thinking about shows that it's not a definite plan yet, right?
Exactly. It's like, maybe you want to go hiking, but it depends on the weather or if your friend is available. So you're considering it, but it's not set in stone.
Right. And what if you want to invite someone to do something with you? How would you phrase that?
Well, you could say, do you want to go hiking with me this weekend? Or, more casually, want to grab coffee on Saturday?
Yes, wanna instead of want to. That's very casual and conversational.
Mm-hmm. Or you could say, would you like to if you want to be a bit more polite or formal? Like, would you like to catch a movie this weekend?
Great example. And catch a movie is another one of those natural expressions. We don't usually say watch a movie at the cinema. We say catch a movie or see a movie.
Yeah, exactly. English is full of these little phrases that just sound more natural than the formal version.
So true. Now, what if someone invites you to do something, but you already have plans? How do you turn them down politely?
Okay, this is important because you don't want to sound rude, right? So you could say, I'd love to, but I already have plans. Or, that sounds great, but I'm already doing something that day.
Perfect. And did you notice how Jerry started with something positive? I'd love to, or that sounds great. This softens the rejection.
Right, because you want to show that you appreciate the invitation, even though you can't make it. You could also suggest an alternative, like, I can't this weekend, but how about next weekend?
Excellent. That shows you're still interested in spending time with them, just not on that particular weekend.
Exactly. And if you want to be even more specific about why you can't make it, you could say something like, I'd love to, but I'm visiting my parents this weekend. Or, I already promised my sister I'd help her move.
Those are great examples. Now let's talk about what to say when you don't have any plans at all.
Yeah, this happens a lot, right? Sometimes you just want to relax at home.
Absolutely. So you could say, I don't have any plans yet, or nothing special, just taking it easy.
Mm-hmm. Or, I'm just going to chill at home. That's very casual and means you're going to relax and not do anything special.
Right. Chill or hang out are super common verbs for talking about relaxed, casual activities. You could also say, I'm just going to stay in and watch Netflix, or something like that.
Yeah, that's very relatable these days. And if you want to sound more positive about not having plans, you could say, I'm looking forward to a quiet weekend at home.
Ooh, I like that. Looking forward to is a great phrase that shows you're excited about something.
Exactly. And you can use looking forward to with any plan, not just staying home. Like, I'm looking forward to the concert this weekend. Or, I'm really looking forward to sleeping in.
Sleeping in, yes, that means staying in bed later than usual, not getting up early.
Right. And that's a very common weekend activity for a lot of people.
For sure. Okay, so let's talk about some common weekend activities and how to describe them naturally.
Good idea. So, we already mentioned hiking and watching movies. What else?
Well, a lot of people like to go out to eat or try a new restaurant on the weekend.
Yeah, or meet up with friends. That's a common one. You could say, I'm meeting up with some old friends for brunch on Sunday.
Brunch. That's such a weekend thing, right? Breakfast and lunch combined.
Totally. And speaking of food, you might say, we're going to fire up the grill if you're having a barbecue.
Love that expression, fire up the grill. Or if you're going to a party, you might say, I'm going to a cookout, or there's a barbecue at my friend's place.
Mm-hmm. And what about errands? Because, let's be honest, weekends aren't always fun and exciting. Sometimes you got to do boring stuff.
So true. You might say, I need to run some errands, or I have to do laundry and clean the apartment.
Right. Run errands means doing various tasks like going to the grocery store, the post office, the bank, that kind of thing.
Exactly. And if you're doing something productive, you could say, I'm planning to work on my car, or I need to tackle that project I've been putting off.
Tackle is a good word there. It means to deal with something challenging or that requires effort.
Right. And putting off means postponing or delaying something.
Yeah, we all have things we've been putting off, right?
Definitely. Now let's talk about how to have a more extended conversation about weekend plans, because usually it's not just one question and one answer.
Good point. So let's do an example. Sophia, what are you doing this weekend?
Oh, I'm actually going to a farmer's market on Saturday morning. I try to go every weekend to get fresh produce.
Nice. Which farmer's market do you go to?
The one downtown near the park. They have amazing fresh bread and local honey. Do you ever go to farmers markets?
Sometimes. I went to one last month, and the vegetables were incredible. So, are you doing anything else this weekend?
Yeah, on Saturday afternoon, I'm planning to meet up with my book club. We're discussing this mystery novel we all read.
Oh, cool. How long have you been in a book club?
About a year now. It's a lot of fun, and it motivates me to actually finish books. What about you? Got any plans?
Well, I'm thinking about going to see that new action movie that just came out. Want to join?
That sounds fun, but I'm not sure if I'll have time. Maybe if I finish early with my book club. When are you planning to go?
Probably Saturday evening, around 7 or 8.
Let me check and get back to you. Our book club usually wraps up by 5, so I might be able to make it.
Sounds good. Just text me if you can make it.
Will do. See how that conversation flowed naturally? We weren't just asking and answering about plans. We were asking follow-up questions, showing interest, and even making plans together.
Exactly. And that's how real conversations work. You ask questions about the details, you share your own experiences, and you keep the conversation going.
Right. And notice some of the phrases we used, like wraps up, which means finishes or ends.
And get back to you means I'll contact you later with an answer.
These little phrases are so important for sounding natural. Let's give some more examples of common weekend expressions.
Okay. So if you're going to exercise, you might say, I'm hitting the gym, instead of just, I'm going to the gym.
Yes, hitting the gym is much more casual and natural. Or I'm going for a run, or I'm doing yoga class.
Right. And if you're working on home improvement, you could say, I'm doing some yard work, or I'm painting the bedroom.
Good ones. What about traveling? How do you talk about weekend trips?
Well, you could say, I'm heading to the beach for the weekend, or we're taking a road trip to the mountains.
Heading to is another great casual phrase that means going to, and a road trip is when you drive somewhere, usually taking a few hours.
Yeah. And if you're visiting someone, you might say, I'm going to visit my family, or I'm staying with my cousin for the weekend.
Exactly. Now, what about when Monday comes and someone asks you, how was your weekend?
Right, because that's the follow-up question everyone asks.
So, how would you answer that?
Well, if you had a good weekend, you could say, it was great, or really good, thanks. And then maybe add some details like, I went to that new restaurant downtown and the food was amazing.
Perfect. And if your weekend was just okay, you might say, it was pretty quiet, or nothing too exciting, just relaxed at home.
hmm And if it was a busy weekend, you could say, it was hectic, or I barely had time to breathe.
Hectic means really busy and maybe a bit stressful.
Right. Or you could say, it flew by, which means the time passed really quickly.
Oh, that's a common one. The weekend flew by. It means you were so busy or having so much fun that the time seemed to pass super fast.
Exactly. And then you could elaborate like, it flew by. I had so much to do. I went to 2 birthday parties and helped my brother move.
Great example. See, talking about your weekend in the past tense is just as important as making plans in the future tense.
Absolutely. And don't forget to ask the other person back. After you answer, you should say, how about you? Or what did you do?
Yes, that's so important for keeping the conversation balanced and showing you're interested in the other person. It's not just about talking about yourself.
Right, right. So let's practice that. Sophia, how was your weekend?
It was really nice. I finally got around to organizing my closet, which I'd been putting off for months. And Sunday, I met up with a friend I hadn't seen in ages.
Oh, nice. How long had it been?
Probably like 6 months. We used to work together, but she moved to a different company. It was so good to catch up. How about you? What did you get up to?
Pretty chill weekend for me. I binge-watched this new series on Netflix and did a bunch of meal prep for the week.
Ooh, meal prep. That's productive. What did you make?
Just some chicken and rice bowls, and I chopped up a ton of vegetables. Trying to eat healthier, you know?
Good for you. See, listeners, that's how a natural back and forth conversation about weekends sounds. Notice how we're using phrases like got around to, which means finally did something, and in ages, which means a very long time.
Yeah, and catch up means to talk and share what's been happening in your lives. And I used binge-watched, which means watching many episodes of a show in a row.
That's very relatable. A lot of people binge watch shows on weekends.
For sure. And chill, as an adjective, means relaxed and low-key.
Right. Before we wrap up, let's talk about some common mistakes people make when talking about weekend plans.
Okay, good idea. So one common mistake is being too formal, like saying, I shall attend a cinema, instead of, I'm going to catch a movie.
Yes, that sounds way too stiff and formal for casual conversation.
Right. Another mistake is using the wrong tense, like saying, I go to the beach, instead of, I'm going to the beach when talking about future plans.
Exactly. For future plans, you need I'm going to, or I'll, or I'm planning to. You can't just use the simple present tense.
And sometimes people forget to use contractions, which makes them sound less natural, like saying, I am going to, instead of, I'm gonna.
Good point. Native speakers use contractions all the time in casual speech. Gonna, wanna, gotta, these are super common.
Yeah, and while you wouldn't write these in formal writing, they're perfectly normal in spoken English.
Absolutely. Another tip is to vary your vocabulary. Don't just say I'm going to for everything. Mix it up with I'm planning to, I might, I'm thinking about, I'm hoping to.
Great advice. And use those natural phrases we talked about, like hanging out, catching up, chilling, hitting the gym.
Yes, these make you sound much more like a native speaker.
Definitely. And remember to show enthusiasm when appropriate. If someone tells you about their plans, respond with, that sounds fun, or nice, or have a great time.
So true. Being engaged and enthusiastic makes the conversation more enjoyable for both people.
Exactly. And if you're not sure what to say, you can always ask questions. Where are you going? Who are you going with? What time are you meeting?
Perfect. Questions keep the conversation flowing. All right, so let's do one more complete example from start to finish, incorporating everything we've talked about today.
Sounds good. You start.
Okay. Hey, got any fun plans for the weekend?
Actually, yeah. I'm thinking about driving up to this lake about 2 hours away. A bunch of friends are renting a cabin for the weekend.
Oh, wow, that sounds amazing. What are you guys planning to do up there?
Probably just hang out, do some kayaking, maybe have a bonfire at night. Just relax and get away from the city, you know?
That sounds perfect. I'm jealous. When are you heading up there?
Friday after work. We're going to leave around 6 to beat the traffic. What about you? Any plans?
Nothing that exciting. I'm just going to take it easy this weekend. Saturday, I need to run some errands and clean my apartment, which is long overdue.
Hey, sometimes a low-key weekend is exactly what you need.
True. And Sunday, I might meet up with my sister for brunch if she's free. But honestly, I'm looking forward to just having some downtime.
Yeah, I totally get that. Well, enjoy your relaxing weekend.
Thanks. You too. Have an awesome time at the lake.
Thanks, I will.
Perfect. See how natural that sounded? We used tons of the phrases and patterns we discussed today.
Yeah, and it felt like a real conversation between friends, not a formal or scripted exchange.
Exactly. And that's what you want to aim for when you're talking about weekend plans in English. Just keep it casual, be genuinely interested in the other person, and use these natural expressions.
And don't be afraid to add details. It makes the conversation more interesting.
Right. Instead of just saying, I'm going to the beach, you could say, I'm heading to the beach with some college friends. We're renting a house right on the water.
Perfect example. The details make it come alive and give the other person more to respond to.
Absolutely. All right, I think we've covered a ton of ground today.
We really have. We talked about how to ask about plans, how to describe your plans, how to make invitations, how to decline politely, common weekend activities, and how to talk about your weekend in the past tense.
And we gave tons of examples and natural phrases that you can start using right away. If you found this helpful, please subscribe for daily English listening practice.
Yes, please do. We create new content every single day to help you improve your listening comprehension and learn to speak more naturally.
And don't just listen once. Listen multiple times. Take notes on the phrases you like and practice using them yourself.
Great advice. The more you practice, the more natural these expressions will become.
Exactly. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for listening today.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Have a great weekend, everyone.
Yeah, whatever your plans are, enjoy them.